Hi everyone, welcome back to the Salem Horror Fest. Yay! We appreciate your support. We are thrilled to have with us Movie Jawn, who is going to be conducting a podcast of the movie most of you probably just saw, Pet Sematary. So without further ado, I give you Kate and Rosalie.
Hi everybody.
Hello. So I am Rosalie Kix, and
I'm Kate Beach.
And we are part of Movie Jawn. And for those of you that are not familiar, Movie Jawn is a quarterly print movie magazine, which is available for sale out in the lobby. But every quarter we put out a new issue. It's always a different theme. Our latest issue came out in March, and it features cinematic nuns. And our writers will write about movies in that theme. One thing that I love about the magazine is that you will always find something new to watch because it covers so many different genres. And Kate Beach is one of our writers and also our community outreach director. And as part of that role, we have a Patreon. And on the Patreon, we host a monthly podcast known as Intermission. So we're going to do a version of that today. So Kate, I wanted to know, we just watched Pet Sematary. What did you think of that? Because it's been a while since you watched it. So kind of what were your feelings watching it again and revisiting it?
Yeah, it's been years since I've watched this movie, and within about 5 minutes I knew why. This memory rocketed back to me like I had no idea it was coming. When I was very small, we lived within sight of the Pennsylvania Turnpike. And I couldn't see the trucks all that much all the time, but I could hear them. And I had a recurring nightmare. This is a recovered memory from 90 minutes ago of my cat, Blackberry. I had a recurring dream of Blackberry getting out onto the turnpike and getting smooshed. And my preschool best friend's mother, who wore a jean jacket and had a lady mullet, coming to my house to tell me that she had scraped him up off the turnpike.
Oh my God.
I know, it was really graphic.
And how old were you?
Like 4 or 5.
Oh my God.
I had not seen the movie. Like, that was not inspired by seeing Pet Sematary as a child. It just also happened to me. And I find this is a very relatable film for me now that I'm realizing. But watching it as an adult, Blackberry did live a very long he was a wonderful cat. He lived a long life. He did not get smooshed by a truck. And I have wonderful memories of him. And I had a great time watching this movie, actually.
Yeah. And for those listening that haven't seen it, it's a 1989 film. It's directed by Mary Lambert. And it was written by Stephen King, who also wrote the book. And it's after a family suffers a tragedy. A grieving father buries his dead child in an ancient burial ground. But prior to that, he buries his cat. Well, his daughter's cat.
It's his cat now.
And the cat comes back to life and haunts the family, mainly him.
And I actually honestly really enjoyed that Church just sort of settled back in.
Yes.
He was worse.
Yes.
But still pretty much a cat.
Right. Just like a cat dialed up.
With an attitude. Yeah. Situation.
Yeah. And, it's interesting you said about having this dream as a child, because one of the things I was reading about the movie is that apparently this was based on something that happened to Stephen King's own daughter. And he ended up writing about it like after seeing her reaction to their cat dying.
That's awful.
I know.
It's so sad.
But it also kind of makes sense when you think about other things he's written about.
Yeah, it definitely feels he borrowed a lot from his own life and made it absolutely horrific.
Yeah. So I am curious, you mentioned this dream you had. When is the first time that you saw the movie? Do you remember that?
I think I was probably in middle school.
Oh, wow.
We no longer lived near the turnpike. We moved, we lived elsewhere, and I guess that was less of a concern, so maybe it didn't affect me so much. But sometime in middle school, because I went through a very big Stephen King phase starting in like 4th grade and then carried me through most of high school.
Yeah, I I didn't watch this movie for the first time until actually last year.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
I can't really say why, because honestly, it's a movie that I'm kind of surprised my father didn't show it to me. He loved to show me horror films as a child that would traumatize me. So I'm kind of surprised that this one didn't make
This
the
is a
list.
good one for child trauma.
Right.
Yeah.
But I only watched it last year because in Philadelphia, we have a group, or a club, I should say, called Girls Like Horror. And she had selected this and then presented it, and it was on 35 millimeter. So it was really cool. And I mean, watching it as an adult, I would say I saw the movie as very campy. And, there was definitely, seeing it with a full crowd, lots of chuckles during some of the scenes, especially when the kid comes back and he's dressed in that suit.
He got changed. He had a costume change.
Yeah.
I love that.
Right.
And he could throw his voice.
Yes.
He could throw his giggle.
Yes.
It's terrifying.
Yeah. So there were definitely a lot of moments with the crowd where people were reacting, it being, silly. But I think if I would have seen it as a child, I mean, this would have not only terrified me, but it would have traumatized me.
Yeah, I mean, I think had I seen it in the throes of the BlackBerry nightmare years,
Yeah.
I never would have let him out of my sight. I wouldn't have gone to school.
Right.
And I also, we had other cats. I don't know why I was only worried about BlackBerry. I felt like maybe he was the most hapless of the group, but yeah, it would have ruined me as a child. And
Right.
I realize I'm saying, and I saw it when I was 11 or 12, but that's ripe king age, I feel like,
Well, and King is definitely an author that I feel you often find has gotten a lot of people into the horror genre.
He's gateway for sure. Yeah, he's a big gateway because there's so much. And you
Right.
can kind of go in a bunch of different directions with him where if you want to get really gnarly, you can, but you can also get Christine.
Right.
Which is great. I love Christine. But also it's a spooky car.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of the cats, there were actually 9 cats used in this film, throughout them making it. And, I'm always amazed by directors that can wrangle animals on set. I just think it has to be very difficult. And I wanted to talk about Mary Lambert, being that she's a female director and there's so few of them.
And she's really the only one who's directed a major King adaptation. There was the Carrie reboot in I think 2013, but I would not call that a major King adaptation.
Okay.
But no other women have directed a King film.
Right.
At that and that's interesting.
Yeah, and I think what I find interesting about her directing this movie, not only was she having to wrangle cats, but then there's also children.
Never work with animals or children.
Which is
She
also
took
a
'em both on.
challenge. And on top of that, she also had Fred Gwynn.
I'm sure he was great.
I did read that was her first choice for that role. She had to argue to get him cast in the part. But yeah, it's just interesting to me that this didn't lead to her doing more films.
Yeah.
I saw in her filmography, she ended up doing a lot of TV. What do you think about that aspect?
I think that happens to a lot of women directors. And I love television, and I love that television as an art form, as a medium. But I do think that a lot of women directors get a feature or two and then just sort of end up, I don't want to say relegated, because again, I love television, but clearly there's a lot of women directors who want to direct features, and they're not getting hired, they're not getting funded, and they end up in television doing amazing work in television. But
Yeah. It just was surprising to me to see that is kind of what happened with her career, especially because this movie did very well.
Yeah, and it's a really fun movie, and I think she should have, I don't know about blank check afterwards, but sizable check.
Yeah.
Let her do something cool.
Yeah.
She directed the Like a Virgin video.
Yes.
Let her do what she wants.
And one of my favorites, which was Material Girl.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of references to classic Hollywood movies in it. And that was kind of how Mary got her start, was making all of these different music videos for a lot of different people.
Yeah, she had a wide...
and
she
mostly
directed
women.
the Janet Jackson Control music video,
Yes.
which is awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. She did a couple of Janet videos, I think.
The other cool thing is that Mary got the Ramones involved with the movie.
And they were one of Stephen King's favorite bands, which is an interesting, like, little fun fact about him.
Right. I kind of read some things about that, that he really wanted to get the band to do a song for the film, and she was friends with them. So she kind of just made that happen.
And they also used Sheena as a punk rocker is also just in the film, as that the trucker's listening to.
Yes.
One of the truckers.
Which
And he's really, like...
He's rocking.
He's rocking. He's into it. He's feeling it. To
Which,
great detriment, but...
I'm glad you brought up that specific scene, because so seeing that for the first time last year, I was not really prepared for just where it was going to go.
Yeah, it's gnarly.
And the way that it's shot, it's really effective.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Like, and then it shows like the shoe tumbling.
Is, I find, like, really intense.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I think if someone watched that and then you ask them later, they'd be like, oh yeah, you definitely see the kid get hit.
Yeah, because it feels like you do.
Right.
It really creates, you see it in your mind. You don't see it on the screen. You see a bloody shoe and then these quick cuts of, like, the family photos, which is, like, devastating.
Which I feel like, again, if it was something made today,
they
would show you the kid getting run over.
Bouncing off the...
like with, CGI or something.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be as effective as, like, what your
mind conjures when you see a sad bloody shoe, for sale, bloody shoe worn once.
So another thing that I kind of wanted to get into as well is just like the overall setting of the film. So apparently one of the contract agreements was King said that they had to shoot in Maine.
That's so unlike him.
So
famous Maine hater.
It was agreed like that's where the film would be shot, but it's just so picturesque. And then there's all of this like horror happening. Like, so how did that make you feel?
I love a bucolic horror. Like, I love just, show me something. Anything really beautiful is probably really gross, like somewhere underneath the surface. Were you to scratch the surface, I might say.
Yeah.
And that is clearly the case for this small town where apparently the only cause of death is hit by truck. Or stomach pain suicide. So there's a lot going on under the, places like that where it is really beautiful and seemingly peaceful. It never is.
Right.
And I love that.
Yeah. There's always something going on.
There's always something roiling underneath, an evil secret, something violent and dangerous.
Mm-hmm. And you said about die by truck, but throughout the film,
it's really the town should do something about this route. Like, we're killing the data centers. We need to like get somebody on the horn about this.
Well, and throughout the movie, you keep hearing the truck sounds. Did you notice that? Because that was something.
It reminded me of my childhood again.
That was something I picked up watching it again today. Is just throughout you hear that, and it's constant.
I thought in general there was also just really great sound and Foley and like pulling church up from the ground. Like there was just really gnarly good sound work in this movie.
Yes. Yeah, because that was also very disturbing when he's like pulling him off the ground. It's like
crunching and I dare I say squelching. I think it was gross.
You're right. No, and the same thing too when Gage comes back. All those little sounds that he's making, like his breathing.
Yeah,
it's all very creepy.
It's creepy. I really liked it.
Yeah, I still wonder though how she got that young child to do some of those things, like especially with the facial.
The faces are wild. I also just feel like the level. I'm not a kid. I'm not a baby person or a child. Like I don't really know developmental stuff, but like it did seem
Right.
very advanced. Even when he was alive, he seemed like he had a very broad vocabulary
Right.
for such a little baby. And then afterwards, I mean, one of the notes I wrote down was like they come back meaner and smarter? Question mark? Because like there
Yes.
seems to be both in Church and Gage like a new level of cognition that's happening where they're just like
Right.
not. It's not that even that they're mean. They are like evil. They have. They
With a
have. They are
capital E.
nefarious.
Yes.
They are plotting. They are coming for you.
Right. Like, well, they definitely seem to have a different purpose.
Yeah.
You know, like and a mission of,
Yeah.
because like what I thought was interesting is like right away, Gage just goes to, I'm a murderer now.
Yeah,
I murder
that's his
people.
new identity as a baby.
Right.
Yeah, an accomplished baby murderer.
So I think you're right. Like they do
prodigy.
come back with some other type of intelligence.
Yeah, it just seems like there's like scheming. There's
Yeah.
things being put together.
And access to a Victorian wardrobe.
Yeah, also that. If only Church could have gotten in on that, because I think he would
Yes.
look really good in like a wee hat.
Yes,
Or
definitely.
Yeah.
But I want to know, like watching, you know, this movie again. What scene just really sticks out to you? Because I have a scene that I'm just like, it is bananas. But I kind of want to know if there was something that you saw that you're just like, that's gonna stick with me for a while.
Yeah, I wrote down best funeral ever, and I stand by it.
That was mine too.
Is it yours too? Okay. Because I looked at you in the moment, and I looked at little Tommy Udo there,
yes,
who
Tommy.
I was thinking a lot about Gage while I sat next to that little fella. And I was thinking about that funeral. I was thinking about the fact that the coffin fell over. I was feeling very Tim Robinson coffin flop. And I just had completely forgotten that happened.
Right.
I wondered if the whole guy was going to come out.
Well,
And it didn't. It's
And-
one hand.
I also feel like that scene is really showing in-law horror. Like
Yeah.
your in-laws.
It really speaks to how messed up Rachel was, like, and
Oh my
really
God.
communicates even more
Yes.
another wrinkle of this story that I had kind of forgotten about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole scene is just like, I don't know, like it somehow just keeps elevating.
Yeah.
Like first you have the father yelling at him, blaming him at the funeral.
Right in front of the baby. Yeah.
In front of everyone.
Yeah.
Then they start fighting and then it's like, oh, casket.
Coffin flop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just wild.
It's wild, and it's one of those things where, like, if you ever see, you would never see something like that in real life, but if you did, it would be the most just devastating.
Well,
And
you
these are
haven't-
these throes of grief, and like everyone is just in such horrific,
Yeah.
immense pain. But I'm just sitting. I want to watch it. I'm just like grinning. I just grinning. It's human drama, man.
Right.
Scarier than horror.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Human emotion. Yeah, I wrote down
exactly.
coffin flop.
You know, and then throughout kind of, well, I guess it's more kind of towards the last part of the movie, Fred Gwynn's character, Judd, keeps kind of repeating that, you know, sometimes dead is better. And I don't know why, but this time watching it kind of stuck with me, like, and I wanted to pose this question to you. Would you think of, you know, bringing someone back
Would
in
I
that
put
way?
someone
Yeah.
in the pet cemetery? Well, you know, I did my Naja, my cat Naja, who
Yes.
I really loved and lost young, and who I think would be so good at being a little evil and cursed. Like, I just think she would thrive
Yeah.
in that environment, and I think that clearly they had settled into kind of a détente with Church. Like,
Right.
Church was still a jag, but like, again, it's just they could live with it.
Well,
and I think I could live with her. I don't want to put a person in there. I'm not, and I certainly would learn my lesson after the first one if I did. Unlike some people.
well, the dad didn't seem to learn any.
He learned nothing. This is why this man was a doctor.
Yeah,
I would get a
supposedly.
second opinion if that man. And additionally, I have another complaint about Dr. Creed.
You have a list.
I have a list. I've been writing extensive notes. Pascal was very nice to try to help him from beyond the grave and really communicate with his family. He really, Lewis, there was no sense of urgency. I know he was basically dead when they brought him in, but do a little theater for me, please. Mm-hmm. Pretend we're on the pit. Like, make it, at least try. Oh, get a heart monitor, girl. Like, it just felt like there wasn't a lot of urgency, and then and then I know he was dead, but like, I don't know. I don't trust this man's doctoring, and I think this town maybe got him on a deal. Like, maybe there was a malpractice situation in Chicago.
We don't know the whole story.
And that's my assumption. Like, why?
Yeah.
It can't just, well, it could just be to get away from those awful in-laws, but you could go literally anywhere else.
Right. Yeah.
In Maine.
I agree. Like, he just really didn't seem like, after the cat, he saw what happened when the cat came back. Like, what did he think was going to happen with the son?
I mean, I feel like too, you would think that you can control a baby physically, but apparently not.
Well, see, that's another part of it, though.
Yeah.
You come back with like this super strength.
You're very strong and wily.
Yes.
So, and you know how to get home even though you're a baby. Like, he knew I would have waited.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe you can't. Maybe you're not allowed to wait and like watch it happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like if I did it, I would have stayed until the resurrection just to see.
Yeah.
If I need to take care of it quickly. But
well, see, I think we're a lot smarter than him. Like, I think that's what it comes down to. Like, because now that you say that about waiting, how do you know they're just going to know how to get back home?
This is a
cat would.
A cat would.
But a little baby.
A baby. This is, again, the cognition situation. Like, it knows roads. It didn't know how to not get hit by a truck before. Yeah. But now it does. Right. So this is, again, it's just a superior being, I guess, once it arises. Yeah. But I wouldn't have trusted that, and I would have waited. Mm-hmm. But I'm very anxious. Yeah,
I am too, and I also would be interested to see like how it happens.
I know.
Like that is, and that
I know. Is there like?
And I do kind of like how the movie doesn't show that. It doesn't tell you. Yeah. It kind of lets you just kind of imagine that.
See a little hand come up.
Right.
Yeah.
You just are kind of left with, well, it's whatever you think. And I appreciate that because I often don't like when a movie will spell everything out to me. I like when it leaves things for me.
To the imagination. Right. Bloody shoe in the road.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Revisiting this, I really felt more like I wish I would have seen Mary Lambert do more horror.
Yeah, I think it would have been a lot of fun. She'd let her do, more Pet Cemeteries. Let her do that 2019 remake that wasn't so good.
She did make a sequel.
Yeah,
to this, and unfortunately, I have not seen it.
Nor have I. But I did watch the reboot from 2019 in preparation for this.
And what did you think of that?
I didn't care for it.
Okay.
I didn't care for it. I do really like Jason Clarke, and I thought he was a good choice for that for Lewis. But overall, and Amy Seimetz was Rachel, which she's great.
Okay.
I love She Dies Tomorrow.
Yeah.
But she's usually in such like micro budget indies. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I kind of was just like, oh, go ahead. I mean, I hope she got really well paid.
Right.
I hope she got paid very well for it. She probably didn't.
Well. And I think the only other thing that we really haven't talked about yet is the mother. I did want to talk about her.
About Miss Rachel?
Yeah.
And her just horrific situation.
All around.
Yeah.
Like, so we kind of get this backstory about her childhood. With, I guess she was kind of a caretaker of some sort for the sister.
Yeah.
And I was reading some, kind of factoids about that with, I guess, why Mary ended up casting a man for that role and apparently wanted to make the character look more frightening and off-putting.
It was definitely off-putting, the character.
Yes.
I think it's a really, I mean, this family, like, had just really horrifically abusive ideas about illness.
Yes.
And as a, it's not Rachel's fault as a child, but those parents should be in jail. Those people should be in jail. You should never, like, give an a person with an illness in your home, disability, like, this is what you're locking them in an attic and, I don't know, weirding out your other kid.
Right. And then also making the other kid responsible for taking care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There should, CPS, police.
Right.
Something happened. Yeah, someone needed to go into that home and remove both of them.
And then she ended up marrying the doctor.
He says. He's a doctor. I didn't see the degree on the wall. Maybe it was there. I didn't read it.
Yeah.
It wasn't from a good school. But
But I feel for that character because I just feel nothing good happens for her.
No, and she was, her sister was a really tragic victim of medical abuse, and she was also sort of pulled into that same abuse and neglect, and it really messed her up, clearly.
Right.
And it was, this echo of sometimes dead is better is okay when you're talking about someone who's actually died, like a cat or a cat or a hit by truck person in that town. But when you're talking about, when you're sort of doing that same thing and you're talking about a human, a person who is living with an illness, that is just so much worse. Like, it's so much worse in that context to think about.
Right.
With her family, it's just like, it really curdles that thing where it's like, sometimes that is better if it's a demon baby, not when it's a living child that could just maybe go to a hospital.
Right. And get the proper care.
Treated for things and, not just sort of left to rot in an attic. Yeah.
Terrible parents.
Not great. I mean, where do they get the audacity at that funeral to entertain me so much?
Right.
But be really awful.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, it's not your family. So
yeah, so I could really kind of enjoy that part of it, yes.
But anything else that you wanted to add about the film or... I never read the book, so I don't know if it really differs from that.
I haven't read the book in a long time. I read it early in my King journey, which I think I started with Misery.
Oh, wow.
And, well...
heavy stuff.
Yeah, well, only child, older parents, mom who, before it was Stephen King, she had a lot of Anne Rule books.
Oh.
So, like, the true crime, like, Stranger Beside Me.
Were you reading that as a child?
No, there were pictures in the middle. So I would pick them up, listen. And they turned out they were crime scene photos.
Sure.
But not always. Sometimes they were like graduation photos. And then you would turn the page and then it was the crime scene photo.
I see.
Of like, oh, this is what she looked like at her high school graduation. Uh-oh. And then, things didn't usually turn out so great for any her in those stories.
Right.
Like, just by and large. But then, I think my mother kind of said, well, those are real and horrific. Why don't you try, like, fiction?
Okay.
And, like, have, maybe that'll be more fun. And, Misery. But Pet Sematary was somewhere in the early. Pet Sematary, Carrie, Misery, Christine, like, I don't know, just these. And then I get into the short stories.
Yeah.
Like Bag of Bone, like these.
I was always too much of a scaredy cat. as like
To read them?
to read King
okay.
stuff. I stuck to like the Fear Street,
I
like
did
the
well.
Goosebumps.
I did like Fear Street. I was not really a Goosebumps kid, but I was an Are You
Okay.
Afraid of the Dark?
Okay,
Like, you know, the kind of person who like buys an Are You Afraid of the Dark shirt in adulthood
right.
just because it, you know, it's a nice memory. But yeah, I would have to pick up the book again. It's been a long time, but I feel like it's quite a faithful edit. I mean, he wrote it. He wrote this. He wrote.
He did write the
screenplay.
script.
So I think generally speaking, with him, the more involved he is in an adaptation, the more dangerous it is.
Which
But I still really like this one.
I would be remiss to say he is actually the reason that Mary ended up directing it. It was first George Romero was attached to direct the film, and then he had to drop out because he was doing production of Monkey Shines,
Okay.
and it just was taking too long to like get off the
A lot of
ground.
monkey shines, yeah.
And then it was King selected Mary Lambert to
Well,
direct it. And
I think it was
that's
a great
really
choice.
Cool.
I think it's a really cool choice. I think she did great. And I mean, I think generally speaking, I don't think he is great in adapting his own work. And if you ask him which adaptations of his work he likes the most, they're usually not. They're never the ones that I would agree. Like I would never agree with them. But I think he did great on this one. I think he, you know.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say.
I mean, he loves the Steven Weber Shining.
Which no.
Is
Yeah, I think it has to be difficult, like, especially if you see someone take your writing
absolutely.
and turn it into
And interpret
something
it,
else.
adapt
right,
it,
interpret
right?
it.
Yeah. It has to become something. It does become something different by the virtue of doing it.
Right, because they obviously are getting something, their own personal take on it. So it's going to end up being different than yours.
Exactly. And I think he doesn't, you know, it's hard. It would be hard for anyone when you create something to have that happen.
Yeah. But this one, I mean, it does make sense with his involvement that he ended up being probably happy with it.
I assume he is. He had a nice little cameo.
Yes.
He had a fun little cameo.
Which it was interesting watching it with
He looked
another
good.
crowd because I've now only seen it with others.
In an oh wow,
with,
yeah, okay.
with an audience. And the same reaction happened when
like,
he popped up. Yes. And there was chuckles.
It's always fun to see him pop up in anything.
Yes.
And he looked good. It was like he looked young. It's the 80s. Like I think, you know, it's just nice to see him. It's like, oh, hey, Uncle Steve.
Well, I don't think I had anything else to mention. I think the only other thing that I wanted to ask you is, are you a cat or a dog person?
Wow. I am truly, truly both. I love cats. I love every animal that's ever existed, whether they're evil or not. I just think I currently only have a dog, a little Chihuahua mix named Little Edie. And until recently a cat, and she was wonderful, and I would put her in the pet cemetery, and she would be fine. She would be fine, so...
And see, this is exactly why I'm a dog person. Because cats just... I would never hurt a cat.
Good.
But they kind of freak me out a bit. Like, I think they're a little...
They're independent spirits.
and they have a lot of mischief in them.
Well, many dogs have a lot of mischief in them, too.
Yeah.
But cats know what to do with it, I guess, more, I think. But again, I just think that, like, you wouldn't notice always a cat that's come from the pet cemetery. So, like, you might not...
You're saying that there's probably cats out there
maybe
now that are from the pet cemetery.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the It's Always Sunny where they got a junkyard cat?
Yeah.
Yeah. That cat feels like it came from the pet cemetery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Sometimes I think that about my parents' cat.
Yeah.
Chutney. Mm-hmm. One eye. Really hardcore. But I haven't seen it. Like, I don't know for certain because I didn't wait. You know, I don't know.
Sure. Well, this was a lot of fun chatting about this movie. And, you know, I think that we should both, at this moment, make a pact that we're going to watch the sequel.
Yes.
I think we owe that to Mary.
We got to go to the Airbnb tonight. Pop it on.
I don't know if it's going to happen tonight.
I don't know.
Amidst the Salem Horror Film Fest, but it will happen this year.
Yes.
And yeah, until next time, you can make sure that you follow Movie Jawn on Instagram, Blue Sky, and come back next month because we do this podcast intermission every month, and it always features 2 different staff writers from Movie Jawn, and we thank you for your support. And make sure to check out moviejawn.com where you can find some of my writing, but also Kate's writing.
Some of it.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us. And for those here at the fest, have fun.
Thank you so much.